I am Don Liu. I'm Executive Vice President, Chief Legal Officer, and Corporate Secretary of Target Corporation. I'm a product of the classic Asian American immigrant story. My parents came here with their 3 kids. I was 10 years old. We had nothing, no money, no ability to speak English. We immigrated to Philadelphia. The story is that my mother saw old Western films where people who wanted to educate themselves went to Philadelphia. So she thought that was the city to go to. I went to law school to save the world. I wanted to do everything I could to change the world into a better place. So initially, I wasn't thinking about law school. I was initially thinking about ministry, a la Martin Luther King. Imagine the Asian version of Martin Luther King. But my college roommates convinced me that I enjoy sinning way too much and thought that ministry may not be the appropriate means by which to save the world. So then the next most logical means to save the world became becoming a civil rights lawyer. And I went to law school to be a civil rights lawyer and obviously failed at it miserably. When I graduated from law school, I had a lot of loans, a lot of debt. So in order to pay off the debt, I felt the need to go get a job where financially I can make enough money to pay back the debt. And what happened was I went to a large Wall Street law firm to make money, and I did that. I did pay off the debt eventually, but actually along the way, I really came to love the corporate law, and that led to going in-house as a corporate lawyer, and I've loved it ever since. So I grew up in an environment where there were very few minorities, in fact, very few Asian Americans. And there were moments when I hated being an Asian. I stuck out too much. I felt embarrassed at times, and I didn't really want to be an Asian American who's constantly viewed as being somebody who's different from everybody else, who is misunderstood. So as I grew up, I think downplayed, if you will, hid the fact, if you can, given how I look, the fact that I'm Asian American. It took me a long time, at least until college, when I realized I should be proud of my heritage, that diversity is good. But that took a long time. And I think my sense is that other Asian American, particularly Asian American professionals, have not come to grips with their race. And it holds them back. I see vestiges, remnants of what I used to be like when I was a teenager, wanting not to stick out so much in the professional world. And I think it holds them back sometimes, and it's too bad. NAPABA for me initially was a safe haven. I could be myself as an Asian American, not stick out, not feel embarrassed, ask the dumbest questions, and I felt like my colleagues at NAPABA would both forgive me, but more often understand me. When I started coming here, I met people like Ivan Fong, Brian Sun, Larry Tu, with whom I could share the issues that I'm struggling with at the office, some of which were sensitive racial issues, some of which were cultural issues, some of issues because I was ignorant of the office environment that I worked. And when I asked them, I felt like they could forgive my dumbness and answer the questions that I could ask without being judged. Many years ago, I used to be the chair of the in-house counsel committee, which I founded at NAPABA. One of the things that I was amazed at was the reluctance of a lot of Asian American in-house lawyers to come to NAPABA. And the number one answer that they gave as the reason why they don't want to come to NAPABA was because they felt they already stuck out too much as Asian American in the office. And by coming to NAPABA, they thought they would stick out some more. But it really reflected their status as somebody who hadn't quite come to grasp with their own race, of their looks, and their place, if you will, in the office as a minority, as Asian American. I hoped, and I think NAPABA has become a place where issues of race and culture of that type is being addressed, confronted, and hopefully for many resolved in a way that it could help them in the office. I continue to believe that the conversion of Asian American associates to law firm partners is merely a prism of the larger problem. The larger problem being Asian Americans are not seen as leaders under the stereotype that's imposed upon us, which is the reason why there's so few general counsels who are Asian Americans. The 20 by 20 initiative that Wilson Chu and I are leading is exactly to try to address this problem of getting more people, more Asian American in-house lawyers to become leaders of their departments or leaders of their corporation. It's true in the judiciary setting for judges, it's true for nonprofits, and it's true in the government as well. So in order to address this problem, there are some fundamental skills that NAPABA can address, and we've been doing this, which is to help Asian Americans break that stereotype. How do you develop leadership skills? How do you manage people where people can not only look up to you, but just to go back to high school, how do you make people like you? And it was never easy in high school. It's still not easy in the office, but the fact is there are skills you can develop which NAPABA can help our members to develop. One of the things that I often advise my mentees is to take chance, to take risk. Don't be afraid. The world is at your disposal. Don't let fear prevent you from attacking opportunities, the tasks that are in front of you. Go get them. Don't be fearful. You'll be amazed what you are capable of when you give yourself the opportunity to succeed.